welcome to a bonus video of this series, Grasshopper to Unreal Engine, where I'm just going to kind of dial in certain things, and we're just going to make sure that the user experience is nice and hopefully also gamify this environment. If you want to follow along and you don't want to be bothered with what's the word? With following the tutorials from the past, you can just become a Patreon supporter and you will get these files for free. Well, not for free because you're paying for Patreon, but then you can be a lazy bastard and just follow along without doing any work whatsoever. Anyway, without any further ado, there are certain things that I want to change. So thing number one is going to be easy. That's just the ground plane. Right now the ground plane doesn't have any materials attached to it, so I need to fix that. And the way I'm that's the wrong button. The way I'm going to do that is I will just create a material, or maybe I can just reuse some material that we already have. Let's see, my stuff. We don't have any materials here, so I'm just gonna create, or wait, maybe here. Yeah, here. Yeah, let's just create a new one. So right click, material. There we go. Ground gloss, probably. I'll just call it ground gloss. You can't see it, but it's here. Actually, there it is. Right there. So we have created this ground gloss material. I double click it, open it up. And here we have the base color. You know the drill. At this point, you know the drill. So for the base color, we will use constant 3 vector. Constant 3 vector, where we can define by clicking on the node here and then clicking here, we can define the color. Yeah, let's keep it black, whatever. Let's just keep it black, and I'll just connect it to base color. So now we have black material, sure. Then we have specular and roughness. For these, I will just create a constant for specular and constant for roughness. So let's first connect the constant for roughness, and you can see here as I connect it, this becomes super glossy, and I can play around with the value. So if it's 0.5, it's kind of semi-glossy. If it's 0, it's if it's 1, it's very, very rough, so it doesn't reflect. So I'll go for 0.1, just slight blurriness in the reflection. And then for specular, this is 0, this is 0.5, or let's start with 0.1. You can see how dark the reflection is, right? 0.5, it's brighter, and 1, it's like a mirror, right? So here for specular, I'll just say 0.9, close to mirror. Hit save. It's gonna create the material for us, and I'm not gonna do anything else with it. That's gonna be our ground material. So I'm just gonna drag and drop it onto the plane here. Should be fine. Yeah, looks a-okay to me. All right, so this plane needs to be much bigger than what it is right now, so I'm just going to increase the scale of it. Let's go for 10 times, maybe. Something like that. Doesn't seem that bad. We could even do more. Let's lock the scaling and then increase everything all at once. 2 times more. Yeah. If we go up, we can you can kind of start seeing the horizon line, but that's not that bad. I think that's fine. I think we'll be just fine. Okay, so the ground material is done, I should say. Then a very tricky one that we need to deal with is if I press play now, our character, even though the keychains and so on, everything is very nice, the problem is the movement speed. The movement speed as it is right now is great, you know. You just run around like a weird robot lady that you are, but immediately as you start running up a slope, it becomes weird, right? And if we run down the slope, also weird. And also the mouse sensitivity is very high. So there are certain things that we need to change. If we are moving up a slope, it needs to be slower, right? So we need to control the character movement by calculating, is it running on a slope? And then according to how steep the slope is, it needs to slow down. This is gonna be a little bit trickier than what we're used to, but we will figure it out. So I just wonder where we should have it. I guess I'll just create it in my stuff. And here we should create like a, how's it called? Oh my god. Oh no. Let's try to remember. It's like a curve thing. Not texture. So you right click, you go to miscellaneous. Yeah, it's gonna be under miscellaneous curve. This one. This is gonna be a control of the speed, right? So it's gonna make sure it's gonna become clear once we implement it. For now, just say curve. We select that. Here we specify that it's gonna be curve float. That's important. Curve float. And we just select that. And then name it C. C is short for character. Follow the naming conventions as what I do. So use the same names or else you're just gonna get lost. So C underscore movement speed. C underscore movement speed, right? And then we open up this curve. So you just double click it and you'll see this graph. So for this graph, we need 4 points. And trust me on this for now. It's gonna be, trust me bro type of a thing. You need, and you can just add them wherever you want. So you right click and you choose add key 1, add key 2, add key 3, and add key 4. Doesn't matter, right? Let's choose the, let's select the final key right here. It's very small, so it's hard to see, but I am selecting this final key that I've added. And here in the top, you can specify its coordinates. So I'm just gonna say that the final key coordinates should be 0.5 by the highest movement speed that our character will have. 700? Let's say 700. I don't know, but let's just say 700. And it just creates, you know, that doesn't matter. The key has been moved up by 700. We don't care. We will work on this later. Then this one, second key that you've created, or doesn't matter, whichever key you want to select. This one will need to be at, do we do 0.25? I think we do 0.25. Makes sense. Or let's do 0.2. So here for the second key, you do 0.2. And then you type in, let's say normal speed is 600. Then this key right here, minus 0.2. And also 600. And last key right here is gonna be minus 0.5, and the speed at which the character is gonna move when it's moving on an incline, on the highest incline that it can move on. 200? Let's go for 200. Probably less. Let's do 250. Yeah, let's do 250. Okay. So now all of our keys are all messed up and they're somewhere, doesn't matter. We save, we close, And if we open this again, it's going to snap the view to our nice little graph here. So for the graph, we need to change the handles, or whatever they're called, like the transition, because right now it's very sharp. So the character will change its speed very, very sharply, right? It's going to speed up and slow down really, really quickly. We don't want that. So for the first node here, I'll right click it and I'll choose auto interpolation. And for the last one, I will also right click it and choose auto. So these ones just kind of have auto interpolation of whatever you feed into them. They will, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, sorry. Then for the second, and I believe for the third one as well, we will have break. Let's just do it and see if it's gonna work. So break interpolation, yeah, that's what we want. So basically now we have like a arc that goes up, not arc, but like a seamless curve that goes up, tapers to the, not tapers, but levels out cleanly, and then goes up again and levels out again, right? So when the character is going to be moving up a slope, its speed will decrease until it reaches 250 running speed or whatever. And as the character is moving down the slope, its speed is going to increase until it reaches 700. But if the character is moving on, you know, something that you would consider to be level, something between minus 0.2 and 0.2, then its speed is gonna be just regular speed. That's the basic gist of it. Okay, we have created a curve. Now it's time to actually implement it. And this is gonna be a little bit more on the tricky side, I would say, but nothing to worry about. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to figure out where the hell our character blueprint is, because that's where the movement is located, right? So the character blueprint usually is located under third person blueprints. Yes, third person character, this one right here. You double click to open it up. Let's just dock it to the main window. And here you have the event graph, what happens with the character. You have the construction script, how is the character constructed, you know, what happens when the character is being constructed, and the viewport, basically. You know, here's our character. So you can make many changes to this, but for now we're just gonna focus on the movement side of things. So let's do a simple thing first, because I feel like it's like the movement speed is gonna be tricky, but at least the turning speed is not going to be that tricky. So the mouse sensitivity, it's not going to be that tricky. So I'm just going to select this group right here that's called camera input mouse, and I'll just move it somewhere here in the top. And for the camera input, I'm just going to change the not change, sorry, but I will mess around with the axis values, right? So basically all you need to do is to decrease the sensitivity is multiply the values that you get from moving the mouse by a number that is lower than 1. You know, so like 40% is going to be 0.4. And then you feed that into the value here, right? And you need to do the same thing here for the up and down. Multiply value. And then for both of these, I'll use the same number. So I'll just say float. How is it called? Like create float, create. No, Unreal uses make float. Make literal float. There we go. This one, make literal float. And for the value, we're just gonna say 0. Let's do 0.1, just for me to show you how it kind of works. So we connect it like that, right, to the multiplication. So anything that your mouse inputs is going to be multiplied by 0.1. We compile, we save, we press play, and now I'm moving the mouse really like a lot for this to work, right? Okay, so this is like with 10% of the previous sensitivity. That's too low. But if I do value 5, let's say, 5 times more than what it actually is, and then press play again, now that's, you know, it's a little bit more sensitive. So I believe that the nice sensitivity is gonna be something like 0.3. Save that, let's play, let's take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so 0.3, we did it, we changed the sensitivity. Yay. Okay, now it's gonna be a little bit trickier. Now it's gonna be the actual change of movement. So get ready. Okay, we need this. We need multiple functions, right? Multiple functions to take place. Right now, there's like only a few. No, wait, we don't even. There's a function construct script, but besides that, we don't have any. So we need like to make a few of the functions. So I'm just gonna click the plus sign right here where it says add function or whatever, you know, this plus sign right here. And here I'm just gonna say, let's call it update movement. Update movement. Right, so this function is going to update the movement of the character, and we don't really need to change much with it, so I'm just gonna, for now, let's just have it here, and you can see that it's created here in the top as well, right, like a tab. Then let's go, so if the character is falling, for instance, the movement should not be updated, right? So we need like a function which asks, is the character able to move? Can move, follow the naming convention, please. Can move is gonna be our second function. And then there's gonna be two more. Get move speed. Get move speed. So you get the current move speed. And then you need to create one more function that is going to be set move speed. Set move speed. So you get it and you recalculate and set it. That should be, yeah, that should be enough for functions. Okay. So then what do we do? Do we create variables now or later? No, we can create variables as we go. So the first thing is gonna be, we probably need to figure out if the character can move or not, right? So let's do that. Can move. We go to this function called can move, and basically here we're just gonna say Sorry, I need to think about this. Well, okay, once this is running, we take the character movement. So I'm just gonna take this character movement here, and I'm going to drag it in, and from it I'm going to ask is it falling, right? And also I need to get the velocity out of it. Okay, so let's ask, is it falling? Is falling. I get yes or no statement. And if it's not falling, then I'm happy, so not. Not Boolean. There we go. So if it's not falling, I'm happy. Then also I need to get velocity. How is it called? Like velocity, just calculate velocity. Updates velocity and acceleration based on the current state. Oh, there it is. It's right here. God damn it! Right at the end of the get velocity. There we go. Okay, so we get the velocity, and then we will ask. Okay, this is like a vector. How long is it? So, vector length. We get the vector length. So we get a number, and we ask: is the number larger or greater than 0? So basically, is the character moving? Okay, so it's moving and it's not falling, so we need and Boolean. So we need to connect these, and if it's moving and it's not falling, it is able to move. So we need to then return node, add the return node like that. And for this return node, we need to create like an output right here that is going to be called can move. So here for the return node, you select it, you go to output, you see can move, and it's going to be, of course, a Boolean. And you just connect it right here as can move. And basically here it's going to be, this calculates if the character is able to move or not. Okay, we compile this, we save this. Right, what's next? So if we have this, we can say we can get the move speed, right? That should be pretty easy. But we also need like move direction, which is not gonna be easy. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so let's start simple. Let's say get actor location. Get actor location. That's simple, right? We get the location of the actor. Then we need to do line trace, which is basically just creating a line from the character in a certain direction. Line trace. What do we do by channel? We do by channel, I guess. Line trace by channel. And basically this function, as it creates this kind of trace, or as it defines direction, that the starting point is going to be our character's location, and the end point needs to be straight down, right? Feels like it should be straight down. Yeah, let's say that it needs to be straight down, right? So we need to take this and let's just add it. Add like another vector to it. Ew, disgusting. So instead of writing it here, we could create a new variable, but that's unnecessary, I guess. I could just say z minus 200, like 2 meters down, and that should be good enough, right? Yeah, let's make it static. Let's just have it like that. Oops, sorry. Need to double check if the camera is still working. Yep, that does. All right. So now we're basically creating a line trace that is going straight down. We don't really need to change anything here. It should ignore self. That's fine. That's unnecessary. That's good. That's good. Okay. So we get the line. Then when it hits on hit, it returns a lot of kind of information. So from it, I need to break the information apart. So we break hit result, expand this, and what do we care? We care about the normal, right? So we care about the normal, which is gonna be like the normal vector from the ground. Yeah, that's gonna work. So we can get the normal, and we need like an angle between the normal, or rather we need like a vector between the normal and the movement direction of the character. So I need like a forward direction from the character, and we can do that by just getting the capsule component here, because if I show you in the viewport, see this arrow right here? That's the arrow that we're gonna use, basically. So where are we? So I'm just gonna grab the capsule component from here, like that, and I'm just gonna say, please give me get forward vector. Yeah, I was practicing this, so I remember a few nodes here and there. Get forward vector. Okay, so now this is gonna be easy. If we have the normal and we have the forward vector, we can just do a dot product between them. Dot product between this and this, and then we will get like a vector, or not a vector, a value between the two, right? And this is where it gets very interesting, I think. This is where we actually are starting to use the curve. So let me try and explain this. The curve, wherever it is, there we go, see movement speed curve. This curve right here, you can see that it's between minus 0.5 and 0.5, and that is basically the angle. Is it an angle? It's not like an angle, but the dot product goes between minus 0.5 and 0.5, and the closer two vectors are to each other, no, the closer there's a 90-degree angle between the two vectors, the closer they're gonna get to 0, right? So we're basically like in Grasshopper, we use graph editor to remap values. Here we're remapping the dot product of two vectors into our speed. That's the best explanation I can give you. If anything's unclear, read up on dot products. Start by reading up on what a dot product is. All right. For this, I do need to somehow get the freaking curve into here, and I don't remember how. Let's try. Let's create a variable. I'm just gonna create a variable here, and I'll just call it, how do we call it? Let's call it, no, wait, the variable needs to be called exactly the same thing as what we used to call the curve. C underscore movement speed. Yeah, that's important. Can I just drag and drop it in though? Sorry, give me a second. This might be a faster way. Let's just see if it's possible to just take this and just drag and drop it in. Cannot create a node from this type of asset. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So I can't drag and drop it. So I do need to create here a variable called C underscore movement speed. Is it? Yes. c underscore movement speed, and it's definitely not a boolean. It's rather a curve float. Curve float, object types curve float. And here then we should be able to please compile the blueprint. Oh, okay, so I can't define the default value because the blueprint is not compiled, so we compile it, and now we can see the possibility for me to add the movement speed curve here, and I'm just going to do exactly that. So this is now, this variable is going to use the curve that we've created as its starting point, and we're not going to be changing it, so it's going to be always using it. Great. So now we have this, and this is going to just be dragged out into here, and we're just going to get C movement speed. There we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we're going to use, wait, give me a second. So we need to get a value out of curve movement speed. So for that, we need to use get float value. We use get float value in time. Wait, give me a second. Evaluate this float curve at a specified time. Ah, okay, gotcha. So this is like a timeline, right? This is like a timeline. So they're calling it at yeah. Okay, this got me confused for a second, but no, we just connect it like that. We're correct. We are correct. Okay, we have that, and then we just say that this is gonna be our speed, right? The newly made speed. So we will create a return node for this again. Add a return node. Drag it out here. Or sorry, no. It's god damn it. It goes in here, get move speed, goes into line trace, and then it goes into the return node from the line trace like that. And the return node needs an output, and the output is gonna be a float number because it's gonna be speed, right? So I'm just gonna call it speed, and we just connect our new, well, the float value that we got to the speed. Okay, so now we have calculated the speed, but it's still not set to be used by the character. We just have a number which should be used, right? But we did get the move speed, so now it's time to set it, right? So the way you set move speed is you get the character movement. We will definitely need this. We get the, how is it called? It's like maximum, no, it's probably just max walk. Maximum walk speed, get maximum walk speed, or is it run? No, it's gonna be walk. Get maximum walk speed, like that. Then it's gonna be, we need to interpolate. So here, I wonder if it's, so if we set move speed and we say that it's, okay, it needs like an input, right? Yeah, it needs like an input, and we say speed because that's a value that we already have calculated. So let's say the maximum walk speed of a character is 700, right? But according to the fact that we're on a slope, get move speed spits out, no, it should be 300, right? So here we have 300 coming out. Here we have 700. So we need to change, and this is like the currently the character was moving at 700, right? So we need to change this to 300 now. So it needs to be interpolated. Oh my god. Tries to reach target based on distance from current position, giving a nice smooth feeling when tracking up. That's perfect. Okay, f-interp2. F-interp2, float interpolate 2. We use that. Our target is gonna be our... Yeah, this is our current. That's perfect. And our target is gonna be the speed that we got from get move speed. That's good. Delta time is gonna be like delta seconds, and do we need it? Maybe we don't need it. What would it be used for? We'll figure out if we need it or not later. But for now, interpolate speed, this is how fast it interpolates. This is probably in milliseconds. So I'm just gonna say 20 milliseconds, something like that. We can do more or less, doesn't matter. Yeah, and then we need to set the maximum walk speed to be the target, right? So we drag this out and we say set. Wait, it's done in a different way, is it? Oh no. Okay, let's first get the character movement in here, and then can we set max walk speed? Set max walk speed here. Yeah, we can do it this way. So you get the character movement and you set max walk speed for it. Okay, we connect it there, and we connect the interpolation to the new max walk speed. And this should work, right? So we're basically capping it. Or not capping, we're just defining the walk speed. So we have set the move speed. Then what do we need to do next? We need to update movement, right? We still haven't updated the movement. So we do... it's gonna ask, is this character, can the character move? If yes, so we need to branch this out. Branch can move is a condition. So if the character can move, so if yes, then get move speed, like that, and then easy set move speed with the speed value right here on itself, and that's it. Okay, so we have everything here built that we need to be built. Then we go back in here to our event graph, and what happens with the character in the event? I don't think anything happens with the character, right? Sorry, give me a second. Oh, it needs to keep updating. It needs to keep going. It can't just go once and then stop updating. It needs to keep, okay, it needs to keep updating the movement speed. So if we don't do anything here, if there's no ticking, right, it's just gonna do it once and forget about it. So it's gonna do it frame 1 of any game, and then it's not gonna work anymore. Okay, so we need to create an event. Where do we do it? Let's do it here. Called tick, event tick. So this is like internal time in the doesn't matter, internal time. And then we need to then this is where we get the delta seconds. Okay, sorry, we need to do one little thing. We need to create a variable called delta seconds, like that. That variable is just going to be a float, doesn't matter, and we just grab it and get it in here. Set delta seconds. So this event tick will set up the delta seconds that we're going to be using, and then every time like there is an internal tick in the engine, it should update movement. It should update movement. I'm missing something. Yeah, because here then the delta seconds needs to be here for delta time. So delta seconds in set move speed, we get delta seconds and we just connect that to our delta time, like that. Compile, save, play, and just hope for the best. Okay, this seems good. Just running around. Okay, slow down. Doesn't look that bad. The bottom looks weird. Pum 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 pum. Okay, we're getting there. I need like a bigger ramp though. And also the contrast here, the camera contrast is insane. Okay. We're messing with the what's the word? We're messing very much with the camera speed, which is not camera speed, with the animation speed of the character, which is okay. I think interpolation speed needs to be like let's go for 200 rather than 20. Let's just see how that reacts. Nope. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Like, of course, there's always going to be kind of, it's gonna be messy, but it's not that bad. We'll be able to change the animations later. For now, I just need the movement speed to be less of a problem. Okay, speaking of which, the move speed is a little bit too low, so I'm just gonna say 300 for the move speed. And actually, we don't need to increase the move speed as the character is going down. So here, I'm just gonna say 600 as it was. So it's just gonna drop down when the character is moving up. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, here. Yeah, that seems good. Pom 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 pom. Yeah, I dig that. So we have ourselves a slowdown character. Yay, sweet. All right, now this is tick mark. This is done. Let's jump to more stuff to do. We need, what do we need? Where's our player start? There it is. We need the player to start in this little area right here. In a glossy little area. That's such a weird reflection error. Anyway, So like the glossy, nice little reflection area. Then we need we can kind of do. Let's do a user interface. That's gonna be fast. So let's just create like a new under my stuff. I'm just gonna create UI. So user interface, and I'm just gonna say widget blueprint right here, like that. And user widgets, what? I guess user widget. Wait, I need to let me Google what's the difference between them real quick. Just a second. It should be fine. Okay, and I'm just gonna call it HUD. Okay, so this is gonna be like a HUD, a heads up display for our character, right? So something that we will see on top of the screen. And for this, we need to create a canvas panel right here. Drag and drop it in, easy. Canvas panel, and inside of the canvas panel we need to create like text or something like that. So I'm just gonna say, is there like a text? Yeah, just regular text. Bam, text block, easy. And for the text block, let's just anchor it. So when you have it selected, you can just choose here to anchor, and you can just say that it should be anchored, let's say horizontally to the top, like that. And it's gonna show these weird things here. Doesn't matter. You just anchor it. Okay, let's make sure that it's centered nicely. Center. There we go. There we go. Then that it's actually aligned to center, like that. And let's just say here the name is gonna be climb up, or caps lock, climb up. Okay, and we can just change the font of this to not the font, but like the font size. Where is the font size? Font. Let's just go for regular and size 20, a little bit smaller, like that. And strike, not strike, I need stroke. Is there a stroke? Strike, shadow, whatever. Let's just have it this way. Climb up. Okay, and it's gonna be located somewhere in the top nicely here. Okay, we have text that says climb up, and then we need like a text, another one. Can I just copy paste you? Yes, I can. That's nice. Another one right below it saying escape ESC to quit. And then let's just say R, letter R, to restart. Yeah, something like that. Escape to quit, R to restart. And we just change the size of it as well. There it is, size. Let's do, what's like a good font size? 8, 9. Let's do 9 for this one. Very small. Should be fine. Climb up, escape to quit, R to restart. And it should be anchored in the same way. Just to make sure, I'll anchor it again. There we go. Compile, save, and for now, let's just have it under YouTube map. Let's just invoke it in our character, right? So how do you do that? Well, under character, third person character, UI, or not UI, blueprint, you go to event graph and you create an event that will create the user interface on top of the screen. So you just create event begin play. When the game starts, it should create a widget, then for the class you just choose HUD, that's the widget that we have, and then after it's created, it should also add the widget to viewport. Add to viewport. And the target is the widget that was just created, right? Compile, save, play, climb up, escape to quit, R to restart. Okay, we have done this. Now we actually need the escape to quit the game and R to restart the game. So to do that, maybe that's the question, isn't it? Where do we implement this? Well, probably we need to implement it as our level. So open level blueprint, it's right here. Open level blueprint. And here, yeah, so when it needs to have like two events. One event is when escape is pressed, and the other event is when R is pressed. So let's just do escape first. ESC, keyboard and events, escape. And when it's pressed, quit game. That's easy. And then for R, that's going to be a little bit, just a tiny bit trickier, but should be fine as well. Sorry. I have my notes opened up here. Okay, for R, first of all, we of course need to create the R, and you just kind of need to find it. If anyone knows if there is a faster way of how to get the keyboard events, let me know, because this is annoying to say the least. It's not under paths, it's not under string, not under text, it's gonna be under key. Oh my god, okay. No, event. No. Oops. AI. Okay, did I miss it? Bear with me for a second. AI, no. Alignment, no. Oh, god damn it. Okay, let's do it this way. It should be just here. Where's the K? L N K. There's no K. I and then, oh my god. Input, it's under input, keyboard and events. Okay, let's try again. Under I, there should be input and then keyboard, events, and then here you find R. What a wonderful system. Well, I'm probably just missing some sort of a really convenient shortcut. R, there we go. Okay, for R, once it's pressed, we get the level name, get current level name, and we just restart that level, right? So we just open we open level by name. Like that. Easy. Compile, save, YouTube map, play. Let's see, I walk to here, I press R, yay, restarted. I walk here, I press R, restarted. Okay, so we have the restart. That's great. Then we need to what do we do next? We need to somehow specify how high people are in this game and how much is left, and we can do like percentage for that. So under third person character, let's create under event graph, let's create like a evaluation of how high the person is. So let's say mesh. Let's grab the mesh of the character, and let's ask what's your world location. So I just drag and dropped in the mesh. And what's your world location? Get world location. There we go. Then as a return value, it's going to be a vector. We need to break it. Break vector. We get x, y, z. We only care about z, and we will say that, well, you can't be below the ground, so the maximum float, the maximum needs to be 0. That makes sense, doesn't it? It can't be 0 though, god damn it, because we actually the maximum, like get the maximum, so it's anything above 0. Actually it needs to be anything above wherever the capsule is or wherever the floor plate is, and our floor plate is 470 above sea level, so 470 goes in here. So our maximum is 470. Okay, then what's our highest point, which should say 100%? For that, we actually need to fly to our highest point right here. And I am just going to create a box here real quick. Shapes, cube, bam. And I'm just going to say 99730, 99730. Okay, 99730. So under, that's not under map, that's under character. It's going to be, we will need to divide it by 99730, because that's the height. The top height that can be reached. So now we have like the current position of the character divided by the height, right? So it's like a, can I actually print string? Print string, and we print it with every tick from here. Don't worry about this part. This is just for me to show you. Like that, compile, let's press play. Oh, it says hello. It should not say hello, it should say it, because it goes into duration, of course. How do I remove it? Alt key. The string needs to be what's printed here. Yeah, there we go. So we get the proportion here, right? We get the proportion, and as I move up, as I manage to move up, the proportion increases. Yeah, and once we reach the top, it's gonna be high. So technically, we could just multiply it by 100 and we would get a percentage, but I need like a pretty clean number. So we're going to do some shenanigans with it. So we know that this works. That means we just do, let's multiply this by 10,000, not 100, but 10,000. And let's floor it. So we're basically removing all numbers from the bottom. Like all the numbers after the comma are removed, so we floor it. Then we need to say that if it reaches 100, it should not go beyond 100%. So I'm just gonna say minimum. And 100% is gonna be 10,000, right? So minimum of 10,000 or smaller. The number needs to be smaller than 10,000. If it's larger, it should say 10,000. So we're creating a ceiling like that. And then we, can we convert to float? Yes, we can. To float, we convert this to a float, and then we divide this by 100. And then we need to, so here it's gonna be like a proper percentage with 2 digits after the comma, because we used 10,000. If we used 100,000 and then we divided by 1,000, then it would be 3 digits after the comma. All right, then we need to append. Will this work? No, it won't. We first need to convert this into text. So do we do text? To text? No, to string. Let's make it into a string. To string, like that. And then we append to the string. And we append a percentage sign. So here I just add a percentage. Whew, that's a long boy, isn't it? And then here, I'm just borrowing this tick, which updates the movement. We will set, what do we set? We need like a, sorry, I need to think. We need like a variable that says percentage. And it needs to be a string, like that. Percentage string. And that variable needs to be then set. So I just drag it out here. Set percentage. And this is gonna be ticking it, and the percentage is gonna be right here, the return value, like that. So now we have a variable that gets updated with the correct text, I guess. That is the percentage of how high we are. All right, compile, save, that's done. Then we need to go back to our user interface, HUD. And here we need to do some shenanigans with it. So in HUD, let's create text. So I need to create like I'll just drag and drop in a text block here. I'll just say 100% for now. You know, 100% text block. It's going to be located right here. Right here. You know, in the corner, right here. All right, and how is it anchored? I think it should be anchored like this, right? So it's always in the top left corner. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Said that, I want it to be aligned to the left, like this. Okay. So we have our text, right? And our text actually should update, right? So I need to remember how we can do this. Wherever it says content text here, we need to change this to, we need to create a binding, right? To what kind of text it's gonna be. So create binding, and basically it creates this get text 0 node here, right? So it goes into this graph editor. And by the way, you can switch between the UI designer and the graph editor of that UI through here, right? So in the graph editor, we need to say get text gets cast to third person character. We cast it to third person character. I don't know what to do with the object. Can we just do get player pawn? Get player pawn. Yeah, this should work. Okay, so we get the player pawn, we cast the text to the character. From it, as third person character, we get the percentage out, right? So can I just write percentage? Yes, I can then do get percentage from it. Yes, we get the percentage, we get the string, and we connect the string to here. And now, like, this should get the information from the character and then feed it into our UI. Let's compile and let's see if it's gonna work or not. 0.47%, 0.54%. 1%. Yes, perfect, that works. A few things to change. Let's go back to the designer, and this needs to move a little bit away from the corner. And also, like, we start with 0.47%, which is awkward. So I'm just going to, in the character blueprint, I'm just going to increase this to, let's say, 500. And that should force it to be, no, wait, it needs to be less, huh? Oh, so here we need to do like, okay, let's do it this way. Stop playing. So we max it at 500, and then we remove, or we don't even need to max it, 470, but we then need to remove 470 from it, so that we zero it out basically. There we go. Or we can actually now do for 500 and 500 here. Compile, save, play. Now it's gonna be 0, and it's gonna be, yeah, now it's increasing properly. Okay, good, 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 good. We have our HUD here done. So basically, once people reach the top level, it's gonna be 100%. So this is where I'm gonna leave you, and this is where we're going to kind of say that this is finished. I am going to do a live stream probably on Monday, so tune in, where we are going to be playing this game, and we're going to be trying to, you know, speedrun it and see areas where it's impossible to go beyond, right? Where it just kind of destroys you in terms of the steepness. I would say this seems like an area where you might get messed up, or maybe not, maybe somewhere lower. Yeah, this one, for instance, you know, very steep. So these kind of areas, we will see how to model on top of them, and that, I'm gonna be doing this on Monday. But for now, we do have a playing game, which also we will need to fix the brightness of it. That's okay. That's easy to do. But we do have a game which we can play and where we can aim to reach 100%. One more thing, one last thing. Once the game is finished, this summer, I will be doing a small little competition, just giving this game out to everyone to test out, to play around, and people who beat it, I will give you a t-shirt. I'll send you a t-shirt. Just saying that right now, but there's going to be like an official note on it. For now, just fell through. For now, we are done. Hope you enjoyed this series. Hope you learned something, and really hope to see some of your models done in this style in the near future. I'll see ya. I'll see you around. Bye.